Good morning, guys. Welcome to day 15 of Vlogmas. Want to say hi? Hi. I still have a sick child with me. We're actually going to be going to the doctor, but first we're stopping at the bank to withdraw some funds and then try and open a bank account. So we do have some errands to run, so I want to get her to the doctor because she's not feeling that great, so that if she needs antibiotics we can go ahead and start antibiotics, but also so I can get my errands done because I have to get some stuff done today. And so I mean, you know, it's one of those things. I feel so bad for her, but she's just gonna have to tough it out. Hi. At the doctor, she's still not feeling that great, so we're gonna get her taken care of. She's being a trooper though. I'm proud of her. Huh? Yeah. What'd you get? Hold on.
A lollipop and stickers.
Oh yeah? Well, she has strep throat, so I can imagine it's going to be making its rounds. She seems to be in good spirits though. We're gonna go eat at Subway since it's really close, and then hopefully we can run some errands before we have to go get her medication. So she seems to be okay. I mean, she's eating her lollipop, so hopefully. And it's so funny because at the urgent care clinic that we went to, I ran into a patient that is so special and near and dear to my heart. I'm so happy that I ran into her, so happy. So, you know, everything works out for a reason. Crazy. So now we're gonna get Subway. I got the tuna with a bunch of fixings, some chips, and we got chicken noodle soup with some chips and apple juice. Happiest place on earth. So I just got to Target, and look at this bomb parking, like right front row parking. So I'm at Target to return the sweater that I told you guys I really didn't like, and I'm also going to see if they can give me a price adjustment on that jacket because it's on sale for 30% off. If not, I plan on returning that too and trying to get it on sale because 30% is a lot of money. And then I also need to get a little pack. I don't need a cart for these. I also need to get a pack of just like a few toys for her classroom. So unfortunately, since she has strep throat, she won't be able to go to school tomorrow either. But the next day she can go back, and they're going to have like a holiday party and stuff. So Target's awesome. I got to return that sweater even though I didn't have the little tag on it anymore, so that was amazing. I see them. And then they gave me a price adjustment on the sweater and the shirt, or the sweater and the jacket, no problem, which was like $20, so I'm really excited. So now we're in the dollar spot. I'm waiting for Emmy to go to the bathroom, but we're in the dollar spot, and I need to just find little gifts for Emmy's class, which the way that the teacher described it on the paper was it had to be between a penny and 10 cents per little gift. So I guess I'm going to be looking for, man, some child's like screaming over there. I guess I'm going to be looking for like pencils or little erasers or crayons or something, maybe packs of cards, something that's like $1, or I have to get 16 of them. So something that you get like a lot for $1, and then I can split it up to where they're like 10 cents a piece or something like that. And then the teacher bought them stockings, which I thought was really cute. And then each of the kids is going to buy like a penny or a 10-cent item and to put in the stockings, and then all the kids get to take them home. So at least she'll get to do that because hopefully she'll feel better enough to go back to school Thursday and Friday. Friday's their actual Christmas party, and they're going to be wearing pajamas, and so she's really excited. So I'm hoping she feels better. So far she's been awesome. Like, she had no problem eating lunch, and she says she's feeling okay. So I don't know, I guess we'll kind of have to see. So I bought these pencils for Emmy already. They're at home, and it's a good deal. I mean, they're 10 cents a piece because they're $1 and you get 10 of them, so that's not bad. I could buy 2 of those. Or I found these blocks, which I guess it's a little out of their age range. I don't know. I mean, there's 26 of them. They're $3, so they're a little more than 10 cents a piece. But I think it would be kind of cool. But see, there's all kinds of kids in her class with different names and stuff, so there's one letter, and I don't think she'd be able to divvy up the blocks. But I think this would be kind of cool, just to like have a little block instead of, I'm sure lots of parents are going to do like little candy and pencil and erasers because that's kind of the cheapest, easiest thing to do. So I kind of want to do this, but I don't know. And then I found myself in the stationery section because I clearly need more. I totally forgot too, we need to buy a present for her teacher for Christmas. So I think I'm just going to get this and fill it with like some candies and things and get her a Starbucks gift card because every teacher can use more coffee in their life, I'm sure. So apparently if you have a Target Red card, which I do, every day up until December they give you a free drink. So it's a little cup and we're going to get an icy. And typically this is not something that she would be able to have. You're welcome, because it has a lot of sugar, but she's sick and that's what happens when you're sick. Okay, so what I got from Target, I ended up getting this little tin that I showed, and to fill it I bought these chocolates. They're Dove and it's the chocolate assortment, so it has like caramel, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and I think that's it. So I figured a little bit of an assortment, that way I can fill it, put those candies in there, and then I ended up getting her a gift card to Starbucks. So again, if I were a teacher, I would love a gift card to Starbucks. I figured that would be better. For the Meet the Teacher night, we actually made her a tin. We bought one of these tin and glued crayons and put washi tape and stuff around it to hold, and then we put a bunch of markers and pencils in it. And she still has that on her desk right now. If you follow me on Instagram at hkitty1122, I posted a picture of the Meet the Teacher night, and it was an idea we got off Pinterest, and it was a really good idea. But I figured instead of making something like that again, like everyone's gonna want to make her something, this is probably, she'd probably appreciate this a little bit more. So we're gonna put that in there, and then the only other thing I bought was those blocks. I did end up buying them because I just figured like one block per child. Actually, there's 26 of these, so she could almost do 2 blocks per kid. I just thought it would be a little bit better than like pens or pencils and erasers and stuff. So I don't know, I guess it'll be okay. And I got my stuff returned, and my store, not my store credit, the difference, the 30% off sale. So I'm really excited about that. I did have a bunch more things that I wanted to do. I did go to the bank and do everything I wanted to do there, except open the account that I wanted to. I also wanted to go to Ulta and Costco, but I mean, she seems to be doing okay. You feeling okay, Mama?
Yeah. My neck is better.
Your throat feels better?
Hmm?
Okay, I'm glad. But I think it's 2 o'clock. I think we're just gonna go home. I have a lot of editing to do, and I want her to just rest. And then it'll be her and I tomorrow, so we won't be doing anything tomorrow. So I'll probably go to Costco and to return my stuff at Ulta tomorrow and just make a day of that tomorrow. So we're headed home now. We just stopped by the P.O. box real quick because I hadn't checked it in a few days, and I got the sweetest holiday card from Alexis. Thank you so much, Alexis. So quick change of plans. Good old CVS pharmacy didn't get the medication for Emmy, so now we're at Walmart trying to get the dip and stuff that I need for the Christmas party that we're going to tomorrow night, and then I have another Christmas party on Saturday that we're going to be going to, so I might as well just get this stuff now. I was gonna wait till tomorrow and go to Costco, but Walmart's right here and I don't like wasting time. So we're just gonna get it over with. So I very rarely carry around my planner, but today I happened to just take it to make sure I got everything done on my list, which didn't happen, but she's got her medicine now, huh? That yummy pink stuff, was it good? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's feeling a lot better, so that's good. But I wanted to show you guys the cover that I've had on my Erin Condren. This is a vertical, and this was one of the, what are they called? Dividers, I think. So this is, you can write on here with a dry erase marker, I guess permanent if you wanted to, and kind of make a list. That's what the divider is made for, but I made it in, it's the scalloped one, and I made it into a Christmas. So it says, Merry Christmas, always be thankful for everything you have. And I think it was like $7 to customize. Now on the back, I just put the ready to ship one, or not, it wasn't ready to ship. This is the one that they sent out when they didn't send out the personalized metallic cover. So it doesn't quite match, but it's neutral. So this, you only see the front of it anyway, but I thought that was pretty. Okay, so honestly, I feel like I'm having a bad day. And this is like totally first world problems. I know, like I'm just taking it out on everybody, and I need to just get it together and not, but my computer's acting up. I can't get it to like update whatever it's needing to update, and I'm trying to edit, and my fan keeps making this like god-awful banging sound that it has been doing for a while now, and I don't know, for some reason today it's just irritating me more than normal. So I'm having to edit with headphones, which I hate because my ears like produce extra wax, and so I'm just like kind of in a bad mood right now, which hasn't happened in a long time, so I am grateful for that. But I am just like, I honestly don't think I have had this big of a meltdown, like a tech meltdown, in such a long time. I am, oh my god, I'm like at my wit's end. I don't even know what else to do. So when I was up, like in the midst of updating everything, my computer completely like reset itself. It updated my iMovie, and I've never used this iMovie before, and so now I am like so frustrated on it. Like I really, oh my god, I'm just so frustrated. So I'm trying to figure out how, I'm really hoping I can get videos up for you guys today. So like if you're watching this tonight, then I have halfway figured it out, because this is the most frustrating thing I have ever had to do in my life, and I keep sneezing, and my allergies are acting up, and my eyes are all watery, and I'm just not having the very best of days today.
Mommy, that's up.
Hi.
Mommy.
Did you have a good day at school?
Yeah.
Okay, so it has been very rough, and this is totally like not, there are people starving in the world and dying of cancer, so I'm not trying to be like woe is me at all, because there's so many more bad things happening in the world than my editing problems. Trust me, I know I've kind of griped in this video quite a bit, but there's so many worse problems, and I try and be the type of person that is like, the glass is always half full, and stay positive and stuff. But sometimes, you know, you're just having one of those days when you're in an awful mood and nothing's working out for you. And unfortunately, today was one of those days for me. So we're just going to have to bear with it. Tomorrow will be a better day, and that's what I have to keep telling myself. Luckily, thank the heavens above, my Hannibity figured out how to get me my old iMovie back, because it took me 3 hours to edit like 3 minutes of video in the new iMovie, and I started bawling. And that's awful for me to say, like bawling my eyes out, because I could not get my iMovie to work properly. And I don't know if it's just me, if the new editing software is just beyond my capability of comprehension. Like, I just don't know what it was, but it's so frustrating. And I'm so happy to have my old iMovie back. So I'm I'm exporting my first series of my declutter videos, which I'm going to just stay up late and bang out all these videos, because I really wanted to get them up for you guys. So that will be on my channel, on my beauty channel, either right before this video or right after. So by tomorrow morning, or like in the morning if you guys are watching this, my first declutter on my face products should be live. So now I had already got the girls to bed. It's already 9:35, so I'm already a little later than usual. But I was looking through the comments, and I'm trying to answer some of the comments that are not necessarily questions that like would pertain to everybody. I'm trying just to answer them in the comments, because there are a ton of questions this video, which I love, but it's kind of hard, especially since I ramble a lot. It's kind of hard to get to all of them. So I'm just going to touch on a few, and then for anyone that has either asked the same question, or like I said, if it's a question that I don't find necessarily pertains to everyone, I'll just answer it in the comments. So Tracy Brown, I'm an OBGYN. Have you found that when you lose a baby, you have a really hard time with it? I'm a very personable doctor, and I get to know my patients, and when I lose one, it tugs at my heart. I can only imagine how doctors feel. Some of the doctors at my hospital don't seem to have, I don't want to say that they're heartless, but they've been doing it for so many years, they're immune to it. Maybe they feel for their patient, but they're like, okay, you know, on to the next one type of thing. And for me, I have been with moms who have miscarried at all stages of pregnancy, and it's devastating. I mean, devastating. It tugs at my heart. I actually don't think that I've ever been in a delivery where the mom has lost the baby, whether it had been in utero or the child died after birth. I really don't know that there's been any of them that I've ever not cried at, even whether it had been with the patient or by myself in the locker room. So, I mean, I think it's natural, for someone to think, oh my gosh, how devastating. But a lot of times, when you're like for instance, when I talked to earlier about a patient that I was just like, she was so close to my heart, like just thinking about her makes me emotional. She'd suffer so many losses, and right before I went out on leave, she came in, and I had taken care of her early on in her pregnancy when she had like, she was scared that she was going to miscarry, and it ended up being fine. So then few days before I went out on my medical leave back in August, I took care of her, and she was threatening to miscarry as well. She wasn't far enough along in her pregnancy that the baby was considered viable, and I thought about her every single day. And then I happened to run into her at the urgent care clinic, and it just was like a sign, like I thought about her all the time. And so it definitely is hard, as you can tell from me getting choked up. I don't know what else to say. It definitely is hard. Little baby Robles, which her name's Angelique. I love your questions. You're awesome. And I'm just reading this. I'm going to have to go look at your videos because, I'm sorry, am I reading this right? You had quadruplets? Definitely going to have to go check that out. She says, I love the respect your girls have for you and your hubby. Mom goals. Hashtag mom goals. That's funny. What are your thoughts on having sleepovers when your girls, more so Emmy, are around other kids? Is it hard for her to sometimes still behave the same way? Actually, really good questions. My thoughts on sleepovers. Emmy has yet to have a sleepover with a friend, and honestly, I don't know that I would trust her to have a sleepover because Emmy is extremely respectful when it comes to us. She listens immaculately. I mean, I could just go like that and she knows exactly what I'm telling her to do. So I really don't have any problems with her when I'm around. Like, she knows what I expect. She knows how our household is run. I really don't have to give her much direction on a lot of things. Now, when she has friends around, she definitely, her manners don't go out the window, but her attitude does change. She tends to be a little bit of an instigator, and so she tends to get in more trouble when she has friends around. She pushes the boundaries a little bit more. She asks, she may ask if she could have, I don't know, a piece of candy 5 times when I normally, when it's just us, she knows if I say no, I mean no, and she cuts it off. And when other people are around, I think, just like all kids, she thinks she can push it a little bit and she can ask a couple more times. Well, she won't yell at me if people are around. Little does she know I have no problem punishing her when other people are around. I believe that that's how children know that you mean business and will continue to respect you no matter what environment you're in. And I think that's where some parents who have a harder time disciplining their children, they don't want other parents to judge them based on their disciplining techniques. And I have no problem. You want to judge me? Whatever. My kid's going to be respectful. I don't play that. So, as I mentioned, tough mom. So I'm a little weary about sleepovers. She slept over at family's house, my mom, my aunt, my brother and sister-in-law, but she's never been to a friend's house. Now, I would say probably the only friend I would 100% not care like what goes on or worry would be at my best friend Bia's house, because it's like we parent each other's children when we're around, and neither one of us have a problem with that. And so I would definitely trust her over there 100%, but probably any other friends, not right now. I think she needs maybe another year or two to mature and to show me that she's not a little instigator. Megan Spudo, what do you feed Emmy in the car before practice? So typically we take a little to-go container and she eats exactly what we've made for dinner. So like yesterday for practice, she had like popcorn chicken, and we made a little bit of cheese tortellini with broccoli in it. And then what else did she have? I think she just had a little bit of extra broccoli with it because I can't, for some reason, remember what exactly they had else for dinner last night. But yeah, that's typically what I'll do is I'll just take a little to-go container and put a little bit of each. I try not to feed her too much before practice because I don't want her belly to ache, and then depending on what time we get home, like a practice ran late or whatever, I'll let her have a little snack like some crackers or some cheese or a yogurt or something like that, not super sweet but not like super foody and heavy before she goes to bed. That way she's not hungry throughout the night. Navy Wife 302, I'm curious, when you guys decide to have another baby, will you guys move to a bigger house? Also, in a past vlog you mentioned upgrading to a bigger vehicle. How's that going? Did you find a model you like? So yes, if we have another baby, we've actually talked about this before. Our house is 3-bedroom, and we would have to convert the loft if we had another child to a 4th bedroom, which the house is made to be converted to a 4-bedroom. So we would have to do that, but we would consider getting a bigger house. Not necessarily square footage wise, because our house is about 2,100 square feet, somewhere around there. So the square footage is okay, but maybe the layout be a little bit different. I mean, obviously we do want a bigger house because we would love to go to like a 5-bedroom with a study and a game room. So that's huge. That's going to be probably at least 3,000. But even if we could just keep the same square footage but move to a different layout, I think that it would work out okay to have a 4-bedroom with the 3 kids. And then as far as a bigger vehicle, I'm trying to hold out because I leased my Cadillac, and my lease isn't up until next January, so January 2017, and I don't want to buy out of my lease if I don't have to, so I'm kind of trying to hold on. But I have found a couple models that I like. I really like the Cadillac Escalade, which is significantly more expensive than what we have right now, so I don't know that that'll be feasible. But I also really like the GMC Yukon XL, and I also like the Suburban, and I like the Durango, which is a little bit smaller. So it's going to be kind of like a test drive thing, and I'll have to really see what I like. But all of those seem like they would be a good fit. Shaquaya McWilliams. I think I told you this before, but I love your parenting. Our parenting style is pretty much the same, but I feel like I baby my children too much. I have a 6-year-old daughter and a 2- and 1-year-old boy. Girl, you are busy. How do you discipline the girls? And if you and the hubby disagree on discipline with the girls, how do you come to an agreement? So disciplining in our household is pretty much made by me, and Andres kind of follows. There have been a few times that we don't agree on something, and if that's the case, he brings it to my attention that he doesn't think that that's how it should have been handled, and we kind of talk about it from there. There's very few things that I stand so firm on that I'm not willing to compromise or discuss with him. And pretty much the way that we discipline, we started at a very young age with Emmy, as well as timeout. We started with timeout, which is where Maddie's at right now. We started for Maddie around 20, like 18 to, no, probably like 20, 21 months, somewhere around there, putting her in timeout for 1 minute. In the beginning, she had to get used to it. She would walk around and think that it was fun, or she would like cry and saliva would fall out of her mouth. And now she knows. She sits down and we put a timer. She has 2 minutes now that she's 2. She sits down. She has timeout spots all over the house, like in specific areas. She sits down. I put a timer on my phone. The second the timer goes off, I'm like, I'll ask her, are you done crying? And she'll say, yes, yes, wiping her tears. And I'm like, okay, then come turn off the timer. She'll turn off the timer, and then I get down to her level, and I did this with Emmy too. Because whenever you're yelling at your children and you're standing up and they're way down here, it's belittling to them. And not saying that they should feel all high and mighty, but when you get down to their level and it's eye-to-eye contact, I feel like you can grab their attention a little bit more. I always make her look at me. If she's looking somewhere else, I'm like, Maddie, mommy needs your eyes. So she'll look at me and we'll talk about it. And, you know, I talk about it as much as I can to hold a 2-year-old's conversation, and she just turned 2, so it definitely is trying sometimes, but she's in a routine now. I talk about it. You know, mommy told you no, that was not okay. We don't hit, or we don't touch this after mommy and daddy tell you no, blah, 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 whatever it was. And then I'll tell her, what do you have to say? And she'll say, sorry, mommy. And I always ask her, what are you sorry for? And in her own words, she'll repeat something of what I did. You know, if I told her no touching and she touched it anyway, so she went to timeout, then I'll tell her, okay, you said sorry, what are you sorry for? And she said, no touching, mommy. So that's kind of how we started out. Now, as time has progressed, like with Emmy, timeout doesn't specifically work for her much anymore. She's 6. So now we have moved on to taking away privileges. She gets colors at school. I've talked to you guys about this before. And with those colors come rewards and discipline. She's at the age where she's making right and wrong decisions. And when she chooses to make a bad decision, there's consequences for our actions. So it's not like, you know, an adult steals so they go to jail. Like, we're not that severe, but you know, soccer was something that I had kind of held over her head a little bit, but I do agree with you guys that it's a team effort, and it shouldn't necessarily be used as punishment if she does act bad. But we do have other things, and I think this was another question too. We do take away extra snacks after dinner. They never go hungry, but sometimes they will lose dessert for the night. If one night we were going to do something fun like meet somebody at the park, she won't get to do that. Or if we were going to go on a special walk, or she was going to get to do sidewalk chalk or ride her bike outside, she loses that privilege. She'll also lose TV time. Something, they don't get to watch TV all day at school, even at daycare for Maddie. She's in a preschool, they have a curriculum, and she doesn't get to watch TV. So that is a privilege for them when they come home to get to watch any type of TV. That'll be taken away from her. Just little things like that. She has a certain routine. Sometimes she won't get extra bath time. Baths are a necessity. I can't tell her, no, you can't bathe. So she'll bathe, but then she won't get the extra playtime that she likes to have if she wasn't good in school that day. Or on the weekend, same thing. She'll go to her room and sit there and think about it, and that'll be her timeout. Her timeout's not in a corner where I can see her like it used to be. So that was a very long explanation of how I discipline them, but that's pretty much how we have done it with Emmy, and it seems to be working really well for Maddie. And like I said, there's not too many things that we disagree on, because this is the discipline that we set in place with Emmy, and we've carried it over to Maddie, and it has been fine. One thing we don't agree on is yelling. Sometimes each of us, we're not perfect, can get out of hand when it comes to yelling or raising our voices at them. And I have always found that if I'm in the wrong and I raise my voice, he corrects me. And if he's in the wrong and raises his voice, I correct him. And it's not something that we disagree on, but neither one of us like to hear the other raise their voice at the children. And so if that's the case, we're both real quick to remind the other one to take it down a notch. Sunny Smiles 131. Do you spend time with Andres' family for the holidays, and how is Dulce's paw? So first part of the question, his family's actually, his mom's side of the family is in Mexico and his dad's side is in California. So unfortunately we have never traveled, nor have they traveled here for holidays, so we always spend all the holidays with my family. It's just how it's always been, and how even for him as a single guy, he never traveled to see his family very often. But it is something that we are working towards, to eventually travel to see somebody in his family or have them come to us one year. Dulce's paw, I have to show you guys them tomorrow, is actually doing 100% better. He's like running around like it never happened. And actually the next day after I had bathed them and everything, I was looking at his paw and it had a little bit of pus coming out of it. So I think it was like a spider bite or something that was draining, and now it's 100% better. So I'm really, really grateful. Tabby Lucy's, I'm loving the vlogs. Thank you. I asked this before and I might have missed the answer, but I've been watching all the vlogs, so probably not. But I was wondering if you're planning for the girls to go to college. Your family is so beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely. They both have college funds. And what's funny is, like, even for Emmy, well, it's not funny, but it's awesome actually for Emmy, because she was at one point a foster child. She will forever be granted 100% full ride scholarship to any school in Texas, as long as she decides to go to an accredited university in Texas. Full ride scholarship. So I think that's amazing. Unfortunately, it's very unfortunate that she had to go through what she went through to get something like that. But my thought of it is like, we're so blessed to have her, and she might as well get something for what she went through, so if she had to go through it, she might as well get something out of it, aside from us getting her and her getting us. I mean, I'd say we're very lucky and she's very lucky, so it's an amazing thing for her. But we still do have a college fund for each of them. Unfortunately, Maddie's is going to probably have to be a little larger, just because we'll have to pay out of pocket, or help her at least pay out of pocket for a lot of it, and Emmy's will be a full ride. But I do want to still make sure her college fund is nice, because I want her to do well, and I want both of them to do well in college. So if it's something that they don't choose for themselves, I don't know how I'll feel at that point, because I always knew I wanted to go to college. I have several degrees. I was in college for many, many years, and I feel like I've done pretty well for myself because of school. And so I would really be disappointed, I think, if they didn't want to go, but I guess we'll have to see in, 15 years. Okay guys, so that was a really long Q&A. Like I said, I'm going to go through and try and answer some more of the questions, but if you have any questions that I haven't been able to get to or anything, please leave them in the comments down below. I am happy to answer them. I love it. It's so awesome interacting with you guys. This is like I said, my most favorite part of Vlogmas. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought along with your questions, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully in a better mood. Bye!